Okay, now I'm sitting down.
Awesome. Are you guys, can you hear us, Renee and Mother?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hi, Kaden.
How's it going?
Good.
Good.
How's your season started?
It's pretty busy, I'd say. We did like 80 spring cleanups across the valley in Anchorage, like 65 out here, and the rest in Anchorage.
Hey, that's good.
So yeah, it's definitely been crazy.
Yeah, still spring cleanup season too. The lawns aren't quite, green enough for mowing yet.
Yeah, we're starting here this week in Anchorage. Is kind of going to be our first week for Anchorage mowing, and yeah, it is definitely crazy.
Yeah. Well, cool. And your winter went well. Not too much snow.
Oh yeah, not too crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you had them on subscription, that must have been pretty good.
Yeah, most of our subscription clients, they stayed on the whole year, which was definitely nice.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, I guess we were talking about what our deal was and realized we hadn't ever written anything down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there might be a misunderstanding of what we'd actually talked about and decided. So we wanted to just go through that together on the phone, and maybe we can just write it down after and have something written at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, that'll just help keep things clear. So I can either say what I remember was our agreement, or you can go first. Either way, how do you want to do it?
So I remember we had a conversation on the 11th. We had two conversations, I believe, one phone call and one FaceTime call. And I remember in the phone call we had talked about you guys had wanted to do that 40% for 20 mows, and I had just kind of explained that I had just purchased customers from another company in town, and we got, I think we got like 8 or 10 signups from them over into our summer season, and we ended up paying them $500 for those 10 clients. So my dilemma was that you guys wanted 40% of 20 mows, which just didn't really math a whole lot for me. As what I had paid for my other clients was, significantly cheaper, I would say.
Yeah. I remember the first time we'd approached you, we talked about paying like $350 to $400 per client, and that was like your offer. And so when I decided, hey, let's just do 40%, that just makes it better for you and for us, because some clients are every other week, other clients are $40 a week, others $50. You don't want to pay $500 for a $40 a week client type of thing. 40% just makes it square and makes the math make sense. I don't think that your deal with someone else is relevant to this deal, honestly, because that's between you and them, and we had a deal between you and us. So you can't really change the deal at this point in time, unless you want to give all those clients back to us. That's how I see it. So, based on that, I am willing to work with you. I don't think there's not a solution here.
Right.
So, I guess one of my other questions was okay, so you have our client list. Before we sent it over to you, we'd gotten permission from all of our clients. Talked to them about you, gave you our recommendation to them, and they all said, yeah, we're gonna use Kaden. I know every year a couple people drop out, usually from our list about 5 drop out.
Right.
So I guess I'm curious how many people you're working with.
Yeah, I got about 15 to 20 of your clients, and some of them have 2 houses. So if I was to count, I have the 2, I'm sitting in front of the 2 lists right now, my list and your guys's. If I was to compare names, because our Anchorage route, we only have 2 days, and one of those days is your guys's is clients from you guys, and then the rest is all clients of our own. Um, right now, hold on, I'm gonna count down because I put them in a specific order, so that way I knew which ones were yours.
Okay. I guess off the bat, like 15 to 20, I'm kind of shocked because we had 60 clients last summer.
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm not sure. I mean, we sent them all estimates, we gave them prices, we gave them cleanup prices, and we only, I've communicated to all of them at least twice, if not 3 times, some of them for sure. And so, we only secured the people who wanted to switch over. Some of them said they'd go find somebody else. It was just kind of.
So I remember part of our agreement was that you weren't going to change prices on them the first year.
Really?
Yeah, because if we maintained the same price with them, they would have seamlessly switched over to you.
Oh.
As far as cleanup prices, you had free reign with that, but weekly lawn care prices, it was, hey, he said he would do the same price as us, and so that's what their understanding was.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, we sent every client of yours an estimate with a different price on it, is what we did, and so we just took on anybody that accepted estimates from us, because the organization for our system, we just had estimates sent out to every single one of them. I had my estimate guy do that.
Okay. So that kind of wasn't what we'd agreed to, that you'd switch prices on them.
I don't remember that, if I'm being 100% honest with you.
We sent out an email, and I sent it to you before, and had you look at it, and it said that you would keep the same price for the.
You'd honor it for a year. Yeah.
I did send that to you so that you can see it.
Gotcha. Well, that's my bad then. I mean, we sent everybody a new estimate with a new price. I think the only person that we took on at the same was Leon Bridges, who you guys were doing like a bi-weekly weed whacking for.
Okay. So I guess in my perspective,
there's a disconnect there.
The price. That's why you only secured 20 clients out of the 60.
Yeah, that would 100% make sense, for sure. And I mean, the way that I had looked at it was your guys' pricing for a lot of those clients was really low, and in order for me to pay an employee to go out and do that stuff, a lot of those numbers weren't mathing. A $40 or a $35 lawn, you can't.
Well, it does math when you get all of them because you're close, you don't have drive time, and you can just get them done quickly. So, the idea is having both like that, you can cut people a little better price. And I understand, so if it didn't math the way you were doing it, because you haven't done it the way we've done it, sure. But you did have access to all the pricing.
Yep.
That's something that you kind of agreed to before we made the deal. We even offered that you could go to every single lawn. You could check out the sizes of them and be like, okay, our pricing's legit, type of thing. And I know you didn't go to every single one. You just came with us for a few days to mow.
Yeah, I went with that one day with them.
So I think a big problem then is that changing that price really deterred, sounds like, over half of our clients from switching over with you. So how do we solve that? That's almost water under the bridge. You can't go back to them if they've already found someone else to do their lawn care.
Correct.
For them. But you did lose it. That means you lost 65% of the value that we gave to you. And we expected to be paid for at least that much. But with the way things worked out, doesn't sound like you got that value, but that was your fault.
Yeah, well.
So I'm not suggesting that I'm going to hold you to pay for all these clients that you didn't get, but I am kind of upset that this is the way it's worked out.
Yeah, I understand that. I just, yeah, when we look at properties for us, it's like our minimum for a lot of clients is $65. I mean, I see some here that we took on from your list at like a $55 price, but I think it was just because of the senior discount that we offer. But yeah, all the clients that came in, they filled out quote requests on our website. And what we do then is we just send them an estimate from that quote request. And so, um, yeah.
No, yeah, I understand that's probably the process for the way you run your business. But that's not what was discussed. So that's a problem. And I think you're aware that we had $40 a week clients, because we talked about that. We had some that were biweekly. We talked about all that pricing. So it sounds like.
Right. Well, and I remember
I know
too.
you didn't do anything illegal or anything, but it did drop the ball significantly.
Yeah.
Between the handover from us to you, and we really tried to make that seamless.
Yeah, and I remember, I mean, when I had talked to you guys, I said, like, we don't do any biweekly mowing, and so any of those clients that are biweekly, we're going to get them to switch over, or they'll end up finding somebody else, but we just don't do biweekly stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but those were maybe 10 of our clients who were biweekly. So, not 40.
Right.
So anyways, I guess, what can we do from here? Because didn't quite go like it was supposed to, and I don't want to screw you. I don't want to be screwed. So, and then I guess you're talking because some other deal was $500 for 10 clients. I'm expecting not that, because we literally talked $350 to $400 per client.
I hear ya.
So,
I'm not sure. It would be worth me and you probably taking some time to sit on it and figure out what to do going forward. Maybe figure out something that works for you, and we can go off of that.
right, because, and when we handed things over and everyone was saying, yes, we switch, you can honor your pricing, like 60 lawns at an average of 45, 50 per week, probably 50 per week actually. We were talking like it was going to be like a $20,000 buyout after everything was said and done. That's what the math equated to. 60 times like 350 per person, maybe 18,000, but 350 times 60 is 21,000 actually. So there's a huge discrepancy in what we expected and probably what you're willing to pay.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So, I mean, obviously, it makes it hard for either of us to be happy with this deal. But we can't be left high and dry. I mean, we did everything we were supposed to get them into your hands. And then they were calling us, hey, where do you haven't contacted us yet? We're letting you know. And then you did say, oh, I usually contact my guys in April or March or something.
Right.
So, and yeah, our people want to know earlier than that, so you reached out to them.
Yep.
So that's all, yeah, that all happened. Yeah, but when you buy our client list of like 60 plus people, say you're going to pay $350 to $400 per client, and then you secure only 15 or 20 of them, it really changes the numbers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I'm not really sure where to go going forward.
Yeah, I guess you said that, and I'm just ranting now because, yeah, it's a little frustrating. Do you want to sit on it for a few days and we can talk?
Yeah, that would be fine. Yeah, find a time that works well for you and works well for me, and we could chat about it again.
Okay. Because the other thing, like, we still have people who call us for work, and we're like, we don't do that anymore, but we know a guy named Caden. But
right.
We're still willing to refer you clients and help you out there. But I'm not saying that's going to be a huge boost to your business or anything. I don't know. But yeah, I want there to be some goodwill between us.
Absolutely.
We need to be able to make and figure out this deal. So, does 3 or 5 days work for you to figure out what you're able to do?
Yeah, that should be a decent amount of time to sit on it, and yeah, the same goes for you. If you want to sit and figure out something that works for you, I will figure out what works for me, and then we can kind of try and figure out a middle ground between that.
Okay, because we might, I mean, between now and then, we might do some background research and check in with some of the clients and see how, things have unfolded and from their perspective. So I also would be interested in knowing how many people actually converted over to you and at what price. Because if we're paying out based on the prices that we handed over to you, but you're charging them more than that, I think that client's now worth more. So yeah, let's just get some of the numbers handy and get more information. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty crappy. I don't expect that we're gonna get out of the deal what we had agreed on. So.
Yeah, I mean, and I could only do what I could only do. Yeah, for us, the math just really didn't. Some of these customers I'm looking at here on your list were like $35, $40, and for us to pay, we pay our employees $35 an hour out doing that kind of work.
But I can mow a $35 an hour or $35 lawn in 20 minutes by myself. So it does work out, but your business is your business, and you have to set a standard that you want.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just kind of, I've already said it. I don't need events anymore. All right.
Yeah.
So
Can I just say something really quick?
Sure.
This is Kim. So I guess part of it too was just that those were the prices for just 1 year, and then you could do whatever you wanted with the prices. So I think that was part of the agreement as well. And I was just thinking, and I thought, is there, one way to potentially solve this to go to those clients and say, hey, I will give you this price. And if you being willing to do that might allow you to mow those customers and, still secure those clients for the future. I mean, many of these clients we've had for 18 years.
Right.
So it's not like we have relationships with them. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And when we told them that they would have the same price for the following year, and then we told them one thing, and then that they trust us about, and we referred you and gave you them with that understanding, and then they get this price that's totally out of their ballpark. Not that they were expecting, because they thought it would be the same. That kind of makes us look bad as well. So that's a little frustrating on our part. Anyway, just wanted to point that out, and perhaps there's a way to secure some of those clients for the same price still. I don't know.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, like, there was an issue both ways, because a lot of the clients too that were here were well overpriced, and then a bunch well underpriced, and I think that was kind of a contributing factor as well.
Some of our clients were overpriced?
I think there was some that were overpriced. Like, you look at John Vogt, the house you guys used to live in, and that property, for us, at least on our end, is we'd be charging like $105 for that kind of a property. And okay. I think
that's interesting. But yeah, regardless, I think my mom has somewhat of a solution. Although you've already made it clear, like mowing a lawn for $35 or $40,
it doesn't make sense.
Work in your book.
Yeah.
Would it work for 1 year though? And then you can change. Well, I guess if you change the price, it wouldn't go with you. So.
Well, if you pay your employees $35 an hour, and we had that agreement, did you not expect to be able to pay your employees? Like, did you not realize that wouldn't work out?
I don't remember that being the agreement, which is hence the reason why their prices changed. So that, yeah, I don't remember that part. And again, we have nothing in writing, and that's kind of another hard part. Was like, well, there's nothing drawn up.
Yeah. Well, Renee did reference that email, and it was clear that we keep the same pricing, but that didn't happen. So we lost a bunch of the transfer clients to you. Not we, but you did. You lost them. So, yeah, I don't want to screw you, like I said, and I don't want to get screwed. I think, unfortunately, a lot of the value has been lost. My mom proposed a way that can be recovered somewhat, but that'd be up to you to figure out and decide if you want to go that route, because one way or another, like, you're not going to lose money mowing these clients. You're not going to make as much as you want to, but you definitely won't lose anything at the rates that we had.
I mean, yeah, $35 lawn we'd definitely be losing on, but that's kind of just how the math works out on our end. For you guys, it was different, right? I mean, you guys are using push mowers and had an older truck, no trailer, anything like that. For us, it's just a completely different model, which is why that pricing has to be different for us.
Yeah. Okay, so basically you don't feel like salvaging some of those lost clients is even possible?
I wouldn't be confident in it working. It probably wouldn't make sense to try, to be honest with you. I'm eyeballing the list as I'm saying this.
Yeah, and I guess that's where, like, if this was the case, we should have kept looking for buyers for those types of clients.
Right.
On our end. But because it wasn't, we didn't know. We understood you were buying them. They all said they would go with you. So once again, like, I mean, if you look at this situation, Caden, you're in like a really bad spot, like how this went down, because you kind of do owe a lot of money, but you don't have the clients or value to back that up because you lost it, and you didn't do the research you needed to do prior to this deal. Sounds like you found these things out once you looked into it, which we felt like you were going to reach out right after the deal was secured back in August or September, and didn't happen until January or February or something like that. So it just looks really bad, and I wouldn't want to be in your situation. But yeah, we do need a solution. So let's just figure out some options. 3 to 5 days. Let's get back and talk. And yeah, and let's not drag out how long it takes to pay this thing off or anything like that. You have the whole winter of accumulating, client payments, and you've had all the spring cleanup done, which is worth pretty much a full month of mowing, if not more. So yeah, let's just get this taken care of and move forward. I do hope you're successful in your business. It's really cool what you've done. And yeah, I wouldn't want to see this tank you, and I wouldn't want to make it, a huge problem. But did not go as we hoped.
Right. Well, and here's the deal. I mean, I will pay for what I got out of it, but I'm not going to pay any more than what I got out of it, because that wouldn't make sense on either end. That wouldn't add up.
Yeah,
because that would be screwing me.
But that's really, I do understand that, but that's super crappy for us.
Yeah, the problem is that we're at the mercy of what you get.
Oh. And I have it in writing right here, and I sent it to you, and you looked over it and said it was okay. That it says here, here's agreed to maintain the current price of your lawn to summer 2025.
Right, but so it is frustrating. What I'm gonna propose though is that all the clients that you did convert over and that are at a higher rate, you need to pay us at the higher rate and not the rate that we sent them to you with, because you were able to, make more value out of those ones, even though you lost the value out of.
Sure, but just to make it clear, I never agreed on 40% of the entire summer, because honestly, I think that's ridiculous.
No, but you did say 350 to 400. Details. And it's not 40% of the entire summer. We're keeping out fall and spring cleanups, which is like a big chunk. So, and you do more mows than 20 a year. Anyway, I don't want to get frustrated again, and let's talk about it again in 3 to 5 days and let this sit. I don't know that we'll have any more productive conversations from here on out. So, what's a good time for you to talk again?
If you guys want to shoot for Thursday.
Okay, what's a good time?
Probably afternoon. Evening probably works best.
Okay, can we do like 4 o'clock again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I will put it in my calendar.
All right. Okay, man. Thanks for taking our call, and we'll talk.
Yeah, you guys have a good week.
All right.
Fuck.